if you're actually looking at the time, you'll see it's 7 o'clock instead of 6:30. But the reason being, today my guest is supposed to be in Kenya. I mean, she's in Kenya. And we know sometimes Africa or the whole world, I would say, we normally have problems with umeme. Umeme is electricity. So my guest is having problems with, there's no electricity where she is right now. And we've been waiting and waiting. We can't wait anymore. So we're not going to have my guest, or if the electricity comes back, she can join us anytime before we finish. But I'm just going to sum up on what we were supposed to talk about today. But before I sum up, while we wait for her as well, I hope she joins us. I'm just going to talk about Christmas is coming in 2 days, 3, 4. I've lost, I don't even remember because I don't have small children anymore. So Christmas is gone out of the window for me. But Christmas is coming, whether you have small children or not, to your mom, to your dad, to your sister, to your brother, whoever. Presents! And I just know where to get very cheap presents if you want. Affordable. I wouldn't say cheap, I'll say affordable presents, okay? Because sometimes cheap is not really cheap. Cheap is expensive, they say. But there is Omega House, okay? And they've tried to spell the house with like fancy, okay? So it's Omega, Omega. So if you have a pen, and then Hause. So Omega House, Omega House, Omega Horse. I don't know. So it's in, if you live in London, 74 West Green Road and N15 5NS. That's where the shop is based. Now, if you want to order flyers and leaflets, posters, brochures, booklets, bookmarks, banners, business cards, letterheads, postcards, receipts and tickets, calendars, in fact, of funeral and birthday invitation cards. Now, the calendars, I love that because they can actually do your January, they put whatever you want. They can personalize your calendar. So January have yourself like this, February, March. Oh no, March is my birthday, so March is nice. Yeah! And April, you know, every month you can have your children, your wife, your husband, your ex, your fiancé, you know, everybody. Yeah. And then they also print, which is nice because you can also have your picture on a mag like this. So they also print mags, photo frames, and those are for presents, bottle openers, key rings, handkerchiefs, mouse pads. In fact, I'll order myself one of those. Beer glass, pillowcases. Can you imagine a pillowcase with a picture of your daughter or your son or your mom, your dad, your ex? Your ex, you won't be sleeping. You'll be sleeping and having nightmares. Forget that one. Clocks and anything else you might fancy. So just Omega House. Again, the number is, if you want to phone them, because sometimes it's easier just to phone, is 078 026 27333. Thank God that end wasn't 666, so it's 333 instead. Okay, so guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. I'll say my guest is still not here, so we're just going to wrap it up and just talk about what we were meant to talk about today. But because I don't know the ins so much, I'm going to go on a break and try and find out a little bit about the ins and out of this program if my guest is not coming, and we'll come back and we'll talk about it. So guys, see ya. Don't touch that button. Don't go anywhere.
World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.
Okay, thank you. All right, so today my guest was going to talk about women and children in prison. So I was just wondering, I was actually really, I'm so surprised, I'm so shocked, I'm so perplexed, to say the least. How can they put a woman in prison with their child? And putting you in prison, and this is what she told me, not everything, because of course she was meant to come and talk about it, but she just told me a little bit about what's happening. Even today she went to visit them in prison. Women, if you're pregnant and you commit a crime, and we're not justifying crime is crime, and if you commit a crime, of course there's consequences and you have to pay for it. But sometimes we need to also weigh stuff, okay? Because personally I feel like this is a very systematic oppression culture on women, because we have things called kangaroo courts, okay? If you're a Kenyan, you know what kangaroo court is, but I will explain it as well in English. Kangaroo court is when somebody commits a crime and then either they're judged by chiefs in the village, if they live in the village, or they're judged by community, but they're judged by people in authority, okay? So that is kangaroo courts. Now, talking about Kenya that I know, we do have people who rape children, people who commit domestic violence, okay? Especially these two crimes, rape and domestic violence. And they get the kangaroo court. They're taken to kangaroo court. And yet a woman steals coconut. Well, that's what I was told. A woman steals coconut and she's taken to prison with her child. A woman beats her husband. She's taken to prison, but yet when the husband beats this woman, there's a kangaroo court. What kind of justice do we have in Kenya for women? And yet we have the so-called women reps in every single city, Nairobi, Mombasa county, every county. We have 47 counties. Now we're going to have 48 because the 48th is diaspora. But with the diaspora county, you're not going to try that. You're not going to try that at all. But with the 47 counties that we have women rep. What are the women rep doing for women? So I ask, what is the government doing for these women? So a woman has a child, she commits a crime, regardless of what crime is. Even just to steal, why did this woman steal a coconut? Probably she was hungry, and I'm not justifying theft. That is crime, yes. But should the woman go to prison for that and go with her child? So the children from 0 to 4 years go to prison with their parents. I just wish this woman was here to tell us more about that, because she goes all the time to see them. Now, what she told me, and this is just a disclaimer, I did not say this, what I was told, whether it's the honest truth or not, I don't know, but what I was told by my guest who was meant to come here today is that the children who are taken to prison, there's no system, there's no care system put in place for them whatsoever. So they are abused. Can you imagine? 0 to 4. They are abused. Some of them are raped. They do all sorts of things to these children because there's no care system whatsoever. They sleep with their parents on that little bed. If there's poo-poo to wipe, or oh, she's coming in. I hope she manages to come in. I hope she manages to come in. Yay, she's coming in. Okay, you know what? Before she comes in, I'll remind you of our presents, Christmas present, and then we'll go to a little break and see if she'll manage to come in properly. So guys, it's Christmas. I've been here since almost 1 year. If you want to buy me a present, hello, I would like a mag. So with my picture there, okay, and promote Omega House, because we bring to you a lot of shows, different shows, okay. I can see my guest is trying to come in. So now, again, we print mags, photo frames, bottle openers, key rings, handkerchiefs, mouse pads, beer glasses, pillowcases, t-shirts, clocks, and anything else that you want to be printed. So guys, come on, let's support our black business That's what I always say. Black business, I support it. From the front, from the back, from the center to the center. Big that, I don't care. Support black business. Come back. See you. Don't touch that button. Yes.
At World Remit, we understand what the journey is about. How it can sometimes take a little distance to bring us a little closer together. With ways to save more when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them. At World Remit, we understand what the journey is about. How it can sometimes take a little distance to bring us a little closer together. With ways to save more when you send With ways to save more when you send more is here for you. World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.
Okay. Okay. So my guests cannot, I don't know, she's muted, so we can't hear her. We can't hear you, you're muted. We can't hear you. Maybe if I do the signs, you'll hear me. Okay? Okay, so my guest is coming. So, you know, you guys, you know technology. Come on. Let's excuse our guest. And also, there was no power. But the power is back. So my guest is here now. So we're trying to see if we can get her in properly. This technology, and there was no power, but power is back. Okay, guys. So we're talking about the women in prison with their children, and my guest will come back. Winfred will come and tell us more about it if she can actually come in. So just to link up what we were saying, the topic today is about women. We want our cry today is save the children. Why would a child pay for the parents' crime? And there's one story that Winfred actually told me, and I hope she can come in to say it herself, about a woman who actually killed a husband, and she was taken to prison with a child. And when the child found out, can you imagine how this child felt? That I was actually with somebody for all these years in prison, somebody who actually took my dad's life. Why? Why would that child suffer for the mom's sins? Okay. So Winfred, can we hear you now? Can you talk so we see if we can hear you? Can you talk now? Can you talk? Let me do signs. Can you talk? Talk so we can hear you. I just didn't read signs. I hope I did. If I read signs, you know what I'm saying. Can you hear me? Can you hear me so you can talk as well? Today, guys, this show is going. But this is my last show for this year. So if we don't talk about this, probably one day we'll bring her back. And when there is electricity in Kenya, which we don't know how and when. And I just want to say thank you so much for every single person who have supported this show from the day we started. That was 2020 in March. That's when I started Stand Out, Speak Up. And Stand Out, Speak Up is, especially for the youths, we always teach them to stand out because they always tell you just go and fit in. But if we teach our children to go and fit in, that means they will have to be doing exactly what all their peers are doing because they have to fit in. So if they're smoking, they have to smoke. They have to drink. They have to commit crime. They'll have to have sex at a young age. They'll do what whatever their peers are doing because they are fitting in. But if you teach our children to stand out and speak up, then they have to stand out from the crowd. So imagine there's 100 children in a circle. For them to fit in, they have to enter that circle and fit in and do whatever these children are doing in that circle. But if they stand out, then all the people are inside the circle, but they're standing out. And so everybody will look at them and think, why are you there? It's because I'm standing out. Why are you standing out? Explain why you're standing out. And the benefits of standing out. And then speak up. We have to teach our children to speak up. We have so many cases of children being molested, children being abused, children being bullied, children committing suicide because they can't talk, because we've not taught them how to speak up. So we need to teach our children, and even us as grown-ups, whether we are men or women, especially men as well who are going through domestic violence. We need to know that we need in ourselves for our sanity to stand out and speak up. And I want to say thank you so much for every single person who have been in this show from 2020 March. We've had so many people in the show. I can't even believe. And even one of my guests who came one day to talk about domestic violence, she passed on. So may her soul continue to rest in perfect peace. But she did not pass on because of domestic violence. She passed on because of something else. But we've had so many people in the show. I've had so many people. So thank you so much, every single person who have passed through Stand Out, Speak Up. I don't want to call names because that means I'm not going to call all the names and somebody will be there thinking, you did not mention me, Lydia, so you did not appreciate me. No, I appreciated every single person. And nobody has been more special than the other. Every single person has been special. So thank you very much. So I don't know if our guest now, we can hear her, so she can contribute to this, to the topic that was meant to be the topic for today. Save the children, women and children in prison. Hey, my darling, can you hear us? Winfred. She can't. This is bad. Okay. So, they have a program, DCP. DCP has a program. They're the ones that have the program of Save the Children. They go to prison in Kenya. They talk to these women. They talk to the children. So they have a program of feeding these children and also clothing them. Like now it's Christmas, at least giving them gifts for Christmas. So they show there's a point of collection that is opened here in the UK. So if you live in London or if you live anywhere in the UK, there's a point of collection in Thatched House. So I don't know if you know where Thatched House is. If you don't know where it is, just Google Thatched House. Thatched House, everybody knows where Thatched House is. If you don't, Google it. So you can take anywhere, and you can take anything to Thatched House and give it to Benson or Zach. So there's somebody called Benson. Those are the owners of Thatched House. And give them whatever you can afford, whether it's pencil, pen, books, toys, clothes, from 0 to 4 years. Anything is appreciated. And everything will be acknowledged. Anything. It doesn't matter what. Okay? And take it to Thatched House. That is the point of collection. And we have people who work for DCP. They're the ones that are actually helping these women in prison. So they have people here in the UK and they also have people in Kenya. And the person in Kenya is Winfred. Winfred, can you now join? She can't join. That's why I like people when they're in the studio. Because when they're in Zoom, it's always a problem. Because Zoom is new to us. Is a guest, is alien. So, Winfred, no? You can't hear us? Okay, cool. Winfred cannot hear us. So today's topic, for those who don't know, is about Save the Children. In Kenya, we have women who, when they commit crime, they go to jail, and they go to jail with their children from 0 to 4 years. And they're there, and there's no care system in place. So wherever the woman is sleeping, that's where the children are sleeping. There is no program for children. Even if they say that, okay, when the women are in kwa shamba, when the shamba is farm. So probably when they're doing their punishment in jail, maybe they take the children to daycare, they take the children to nursery. There's nothing like that. So wherever the woman goes, she goes with her children. So just imagine the trauma. Just imagine the trauma those children are going through. Especially from the age of 2. They know what's going on. And then it's there in a box. You know, those 4 corners, they can't go out. They can't go anywhere. The food, do you know the food in prison? The children are also subjected to eat that food. They're subjected to that, to the horrible situation in prison just because their mom committed a crime. And my problem is, where are those women reps? My problem is, why do petty crime, and crime is crime, and I'm not justifying crime, but petty crime, why do the women end up in jail when we have these men committing these huge, horrible crimes, things like rape and domestic violence, and then they take them to kangaroo court? Totally wrong. That is wrong. And then we have women rep. What are they doing? They're actually contributing to the subjection and the oppression of these women. So I think that women rep should be scrapped out. Should just, because I don't see what they're doing. If women can actually be in prison. Okay, if a woman commits a crime, why can't they take this woman to prison and have a system outside for these children? Social worker or women to or somewhere, I don't know, something built for these children, to look after these children. And then when the woman comes out, the woman can always go and get the child. So I feel like this is totally wrong. And Winfred is trying again to come in. I really feel today the lights in Kenya and as let us down, and the Zoom, we've done Zoom so many times. So it's not Zoom. Is Winfred, can you talk now? Can we hear you now? Okay, we still can't hear her. All right, today we have so many breaks. We'll just go to a little one again and try to sort this out. If it doesn't, then we'll just leave it. Okay? So see you guys again when we try to sort out Winfred, because I really need you to hear this. Can you hear it?
At World Remit, we understand how it can sometimes take a little distance to bring us a little closer together.
Winfred, can you hear us?
With ways to save more when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.
Okay, all right. I guess our guest today is not coming. So it's just me, myself, and I. Okay. So today we were meant to talk about women and children in prison in Kenya. That is what's happening, apparently. And I didn't know this, and I had so many questions to ask Winfred, so many questions. All these were questions to ask her, how the system in Kenya can actually allow this to happen to women and children. And yet we are here saying the children are the future of tomorrow, they are the future of tomorrow, wherever words we use, wherever big words we want to glow, but then they're in prison with their parents. So I had so many questions to ask her. She's not here to answer them. I don't know them either, and I don't want to say things that I'm not sure about, but she could have given us the insight of everything, because she's also been a victim of all this. So I don't know what to say in regards to that, but I can just repeat what I said before, that it's DCP that is a charity. DCP is a charity that was founded by some people in diaspora, and they've extended that helping hand to Kenya, because the purpose for the DCP was to actually help people in Kenya, and also to have a room for anybody in diaspora who wants to do something in Kenya in terms of charity. So if you want to open a charity, they'll help you. If you want to have an organization in Kenya, they'll help you. So DCP is actually a charity that was founded here first in diaspora in the UK, and they extended it in Kenya. And in the extension, they are helping women and children in prison. So even this, today they went to prison, they took some gifts for the children because it's Christmas. They don't want these children to miss out, because every child deserves a Christmas to celebrate and to enjoy Christmas. Okay. And for the one that is based in the UK, the collection point is in Thatched House. If you know where Thatched House is in East London. So if you don't know where it is, just Google it, you'll find it. The collection point is in Thatched House. You can take anything for children from 0 to 4, but even if you have something for their parents, for their women, you can take it as well. That's where the collection point is, and just ask for Benson, okay? And the people here in the UK will go and collect it and make sure that it goes to Kenya. And when you do that as well, because of trust, sometimes people say, oh, but how will I know? Maybe they are wanaenda kuuza kwa mitumba. Wanaenda kuuza kwa mitumba means they are going to sell it in the second-hand shop. Because you know us, yeah? We don't really trust each other that much, which is not good. So if you're taking it, just take and trust and believe that it's going to be delivered. Where it's going to be delivered. If you think it's not, contact me and tell me, oh, Lydia, my name is so-and-so. I took this presents in Thatched House. I'll do a follow-up. And if I don't see them delivered in Kenya, of course, we're going to expose them. I love doing that. I love doing that. We'll expose the bad and the ugly. Okay? So, the lady, Winfred can't come because I can see she's still having problems to connect and everything, because the electricity just came back. And just to say thank you, to say today is my last show. I'm going to see you back on the 5th of January. And on the 5th of January, when we come back, we are going to talk about, that's 5th January 2022. Probably we're going to start with the voting system. Okay? Now, they've allowed us to vote in the UK. Some diaspora countries as well have been allowed to vote. So far, it's 11 countries that have been allowed to vote. So if you're part of those countries, right now, on top of my head, I know those countries before, but countries have been, there was 5 countries before, and they just added 6. So those Uganda before, there was Tanzania, there was Rwanda, there was Burundi, and there was South Africa. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So those ones were there before. Now, the ones that they've added on top that they told us about is UK, USA, Canada, that's 3, and the 4th one, Canada, South Sudan, that's 4. Which other country did they say? Qatar, that's 5. And then the 6th one is what? Europe, EU. Okay, EU. So these are the countries that are going to be voting. Now, there's so much confusion about the logistic of how people are going to vote. Seriously, it doesn't make sense. Because what they're saying is where we're going to vote is in London at the embassy. So we have people living in Scotland. We have people living in, okay, Aberdeen is all those Scotland side. We have people living in Wales. We have people living in Cornwall. We have people living far. We have people living in Jersey Island. We have people living in Northern Ireland. So how are those people meant to come down for one day and vote. And you're only allowed to vote for only the president as well, not even MCA, not even your little chief in the village. Anyway, we don't vote for those ones. So it's going to be, it doesn't really add up. So we're going to talk about it on the 5th of Jan 2022. So if you have your questions, please write them down, because the chairman of IEBC himself is going to be here. Not in the studio, but it's going to be on Zoom. Let's pray that that day there's electricity and he can actually, he knows how to work Zoom anyway. He knows how to work Zoom. So that's the 5th of Jan. So that's where my next show will be, the 5th of Jan. Until then, I just want to wish you a Merry, Merry Christmas. And we have a lot of programs that is happening 2022. Do not be alone. Do not stay alone in your house and say, oh, I was lonely. You know, there are so many things that happen out there, from parenting to, there's so many, how is it called? There's so many seminars. There's so many events. There's so many programs. There's so many workshops that people facilitate, different type of workshops. Get involved. Get involved with community work. Get involved with things that are happening, so that you're not left alone. And support others as well. Be somebody who supports, not somebody who just sits down back and complain about every single thing. Every single thing you have a lens of checking and complaining, checking and complaining every single time. No. Try and be a positive person 2022 and see how your life will change. It'll actually change your life. If you're a very positive person, you're always laughing, you're always happy. I am always very, very positive. I don't do negativity. If you're negative around me, block, delete, move on. Okay? Because I want stress-free life. Because we all know that this life, you can go anytime. And why would I be living so angry and bitter and full of jealousy, full of rejection, and full of, you're just angry. And then the next day, you're dead, so angry, and I don't even know where you'll be going. Heaven, hell, in the universe somewhere floating, I don't know. But just imagine dying like that. You're just, every day you're angry, you're jealous, you're bitter, you're... Be free like a housefly, okay? Be free, be happy, forgive. You know, forgive, smile, dance. You know, dance is a free therapy. Listen to music, free therapy, you know. So 2022, change your life for the better. And it doesn't mean that if you're driving a big car or living in a big house, that's success. Well, that's how some people value success. That's how some people measure success. But to me, that's not how I measure success. Success is, how many lives have you touched? How many people have you changed? How many people can stand and say, because of so-and-so, today I'm smiling. Because of so-and-so, I went to school. Because of so-and-so, I'm happy, I have a job. Because of so-and-so, they will stand and say something about you. Leave a legacy of happiness. Not because you have a big car, a big house, so much money, simiti pale, and you're bragging. I have properties everywhere. You have properties and you've never even helped one soul. Well, that's how you define success. Everybody defines success differently. My definition of success is, how many lives have you touched? How many lives have you touched? Who can actually stand and give a perfect testimony about you? Forget when people die, people come and start lying. This person was good. This person was this. And we all know the person wasn't good. But we say that because they say, oh, respect the dead. But for real, from the bottom of people's heart, for people to come and say this person, and people to actually feel the loss, but you've left a legacy of things, of people who will carry on because you're training people. You know, carry on. Come on, change your life 2022. You'll thank me later. Yes? So I just want to say thank you. And I feel so bad. I really feel bad today that the program didn't go on because of the electricity and the problems with the Zoom that we had, because Winfred couldn't come in. But don't forget, even though she couldn't come in, we were talking about the women in prison with their children. So if you're a Kenyan and you've never had this, I've never even had this. If it wasn't her telling me, I didn't even know. That means, am I ignorant? Maybe yes, maybe no. So if you're in the same boat as me, that you didn't know about this, guys, let's find out more and see how we can help. Let's see how we can join hands with DCP and see how we can help. See where we can help. Because that is so much wrong. That is wrong. That is out of order. That is just a system of oppression on women. You know, women go through so many things. We give birth. When your child is ugly or stupid according to community standard or according to society standard of what beauty should be, of what cleverness should be, she's the mom's child. When the children are rebellious, she's the mom's child. When you cannot have children, it's the woman's fault. When the man is only having girls and the man wants a boy, oh, it's this woman, she can't give me a girl. It's your sperms that cannot give us a girl, not the women. But what? It's the women. If a man dies, the woman killed the man. They have to do some ritual, culture, I don't know, whatever, to cleanse if you're innocent. Why is it that they don't do it when the woman dies? No, it's when the man dies. It's a woman's fault. The women are the ones that will go through FGM. What is the women? Women are going through so much. So all this pain, again, they end up in prison with their children and the cycle starts again. Come on, of oppression now. We need to do something as Kenyans. So we need to stand up. We need to stand out and speak up about this evil that is going on right now. We need to stand out and speak up about these so-called women reps. What are they doing? Why can't they stand and talk about this? Okay, we need to stand out as Kenyans. We need to speak up and we need to save our children and the women. But crime is crime, and I'm not justifying any crime. If you commit a crime, you know there's a consequences and there's punishment. But I don't think it's fair for your children to pay for your sins. So, thank you very much. I am so sad, but don't forget, if you have anything that you want to contribute, take it to Thatched House. That's the collection point. And the children are going to be given that after New Year. So at least 2022, they start with a smile on their face. So until then, thank you so much for joining us today. This is Lydia Tet Olet, your host, and you'll see me next year again on the 5th of Jan. And call me if you want us to interview you. Call me if you have any topic that you want us to discuss. Call me if you have a story. Call me if you have anything so we can discuss. Because we've discussed so many things. We've discussed community spirit. We've discussed everything upon everything. So until then, stand out, speak up. God bless you. Have a very, very good Christmas. Take care of yourself. COVID is still out there. COVID is real. Wear your mask if you have to. Use sanitizer if you have to. Whatever you have to do to protect yourself, do it. Until then, it can only be God. Love you.
With ways to save more when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them. At World Remit, we understand what the journey is about, how it can sometimes take a little distance to bring us a little closer together. With ways to save more when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.